What is a poppy? Should you be wearing a poppy? Is it a national stuff? Is it just limited in UK? What does it stand for? Why is it so important? Why is everyone wearing it? Why is it so popular? What is going on? Why is it this beautiful? I mean, this is a very beautiful poppy, like, and you need to hear the story behind it. The story behind it makes it even more relevant and more beautiful. Is it a worldwide stuff? Is it a flower? Is it a grass? Is it a plant? How come about this, and why is it pulling so much weight? What is this poppy all about? How many types of poppy are there even, and why this particular beautiful one? Hello beautiful people, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, please consider subscribing, and to my returning subscribers, you guys are wonderful, you guys are amazing. For those of you who have been watching my videos, commenting, liking, sharing, I'm really grateful. Thank you guys so much. You guys are the reason I keep doing this. Come back and thank you once again. My name is Joy, some people call me Tina. In this channel, all we do is inform and update you on all you need to know and do in order to successfully move abroad and start living that your dream life. There is something going on, like each time I go, I'm seeing everyone with this almighty beautiful flower, and if you don't know what it's called, or if you've not seen it, or if you have and you just don't know what it's called, or you think maybe it's fashion or it's just what people feel like wearing or doing, this is called a poppy appeal, as some people call it. Seeing this poppy everywhere, in my workplace, everywhere, in the street, in the mall, wherever I look. If I turn left, I see people wearing poppy. If I turn right, I see people wearing poppy. I even dream of poppy. These days, it's that obvious in the news, on the television, everywhere you look. Everyone has been poppyfied. Guys, I don't know what this is all about. So I got curious, why is everyone all of a sudden wearing this? What does it signify? What's going on, everyone? Good to know the time and season as much as possible. Try to know what is going on at every time of the year in whichever country you are, or even all over the world. It's good to know, to stay updated. Those questions going through your mind, I'll be answering them in this video, okay? What is poppy? Privilege to have a poppy and privilege to be putting on a poppy. What do you know about poppy, guys? Saw you in my dream wearing a poppy. You need to find out what you're wearing, the cause behind it, if it's for a good cause. Yeah, like no one wore it since January or February. Poppy is a symbol we used to remember those who won and fought in the World War. In 1914, there was a world war going on. British, America, France, Russia, Italy, and Germany, Austria-Hungary, and Ottoman Empire. This war lasted for over 4 good years. This was a war of armored cars, bombing, deaths. Like, it was terrible. So many lives were lost. It was a terrible and severe war. So there was a Canadian surgeon whom by name was John Michael. Yes, so he witnessed the war, and there he discovered in the midst of all that was going on, in the midst of all the war, the bloodshed, the mud, the pollution, the bad smells, deaths, tears, bitterness, hunger for loved ones, you can imagine the emotions running over. And against all odds, there came this beautiful flower. This beautiful, lovely, actually represents hope. Represented hope. And tell you who God is, this flower was just so beautiful. Like, every other flower was dead, everywhere, things were just upside down. And in the midst of all this came this beautiful flower. It was red in color, of course had these green petals, and in black. Goodness me. So it was you know, like lovely, attractive to the eyes, and beautiful. In the midst of all this chaos going on, this flower sprang up. John Michael actually discovered it, and it's to him, it brought hope to them. Like, out in the midst of all this going on, if a flower can survive, if a flower can spring up and look amazing, nobody waters it, nobody feeds it, that means there is hope. On the 11th day of November 1914, in the 11th month and 11th hour and in the 11th minute, I don't know about second, guys, I wasn't there, the World War officially ended. Making this video on the 11th day of November and on the 11th hour, okay, just to tell you guys how beautiful. Like, I've been in the world for several years, I never knew, or maybe I never really paid attention to this day, or what it meant to these people. So the World War finally ended. There was no more bloodshed. Peace was finally coming back, and everything was lost. Some people lost their families, their family members, their siblings, their husbands, their wives. Too much death. Everyone had something they were bitter about or crying about or have lost. At this day that the world ended, and John Michael, remember, he's a Canadian soldier, wrote a poem. His poem, I will actually advise you to check it. The poem is even more beautiful than this story. Flanders Field. Oh my god, that was a beautiful poem he wrote down there. It's beautiful but bitter, I encourage you guys to check out that poem. In Flanders Field, became so popular, later published. If not for John Michael standing up saying, "Hi, this flower sprung up in the midst of all the chaos going on. How about we use this flower to always remember, to always remember our lost heroes, those who lost their life, all ex-military service, men and women who lost their life during the World War, who went to fight on our behalf." 1918, John Michael was inspired to make and sell the poppy. The British Legion, formed in 1921, sold 9 million poppies that particular year. I don't know how much it was sold for. I don't know how much a poppy is sold for right now. I don't know how much it was sold for. All I know is that the money that was recovered was given to these ex-military or ex-servicemen and women and their families, their children, because of course those soldiers left behind their children. They had children, they had wives, some were expecting, some were, of course, every man is a woman's child. So to those mothers or those parents or those sons who lost their children during the World War, their siblings, okay, so the money was raised and given to them. They are called ex-servicemen or veterans, okay, to help them move on with their life, because most of them came back with injuries that made them unable to work or cater for their families anymore. It's just like a way of saying thank you, we are grateful. I mean, these soldiers lost their life. If all I could do to appreciate or remember them is to wear a poppy, I would gladly do that. Love this poppy, and it's just nice. Like, a look at it makes you curious. This poppy is actually being produced by hand. Those military men and women, the veterans, were employed by the Royal British Legion to manufacture and produce this, of course. So they are the ones. It's coming from a place of although sadness and grief, but to our heroes, a way of saying thank you. So if you're not wearing a poppy, try and wear one. For all of you that was in the dark like myself, now you know what poppy is all about. Now you know what it represents, who brought it out, how come, what it represents. And if you missed this year's celebration, unfortunately you have to wait for next year, because it's only done once in a whole year. Lest we forget our heroes that fought for us. Lest we forget those who lost their lives. Lest we forget those whose children and whose parents, whose mom or dads sacrificed their life for us. Lest we forget our heroes. Lest we forget them. Okay, so wear a poppy, keep wearing a poppy. Let's stay creative, let's stay smart, let's be happy. Okay guys, so see you in my next video. Bye.